Ex-Strictly Come Dancing star Dan Walker, 45, made it clear that he has not been forced to say anything that he disagrees with, but that he chooses to be as unbiased as possible since his move to Channel 5. The former BBC Breakfast host revealed he still believes in impartiality as a journalist, despite no longer having to follow strict BBC guidelines in an exclusive interview with Express. Co.uk. Asked if it felt more freeing to be away from the BBC's strict impartiality guidelines, Dan reflected on how he is no longer told what not to say. In spite of that, he suggested that he preferred to leave his personal opinion out of it all the same. "I'm never really told what to say or what not to say," he reflected, as he spoke to Express. Co.uk on the 2022 Pride of Britain Awards red carpet last month. "I don't really care about my opinion and I don't think anyone else does," he added. "You know what I mean? My job is to talk about what's happening in the news, not to make it." Dan was a popular fixture on BBC Breakfast, presenting the show from 2016 up until 2022. He also hosted Football Focus for the BBC between 2009 and 2021, before announcing via social media that he would be moving to Channel 5 in April of this year. A few months later, Dan made his debut on the channel, presenting 5 News live from 10 Downing Street on June 6. The BBC is known for having rigid impartiality guidelines for all of their reporters and news presenters, who are expected to communicate the news without any bias. Elsewhere in the interview, Dan also spoke about the cost of living crisis, as well as the current political climate. The star reflected on the terrible conditions many in the country are facing as temperatures drop and called on politicians to do more to help. "It's a really hectic time at the minute, isn't it?" Dan remarked, just as Rishi Sunak had been announced as the third Conservative Prime Minister in a row within the space of 2 months. "I know it's a massive job and it's probably one he's quite excited about," Dan continued. "And I don't know about you, but I'm fed up with the soap opera of politics." Speaking about the government and its MPs, he said, "They just need to crack on and do their jobs. Because we speak to people every single day on the program who are genuinely on the edge and they are so in need of help," he added in reference to his work with Channel 5. "Particularly with winter coming round the corner. And I've even got members of my family who are really worried about can they turn their heating up a degree?" he revealed. "They're freezing in their house but they can't do it, because it's a choice between, do they do that, or do they eat baked beans for the last 2 weeks of the month?" The UK has been experiencing a cost of living crisis over the past year, where the price of essential goods have risen faster than household incomes, leaving many people struggling with basic necessities such as heating their homes or feeding their families. Speaking about new Prime Minister Rishi, Dan continued, "I think that's what he as Prime Minister is now facing and he's got to try and sort that out. It's a massive job and I wouldn't want to be in that position, but that's why he's there. And hopefully, whether you voted Conservative or whether you agree with his policies, I think at the minute we've just got to crack on and try and help people out, because there are real needs out there," Dan concluded. BBC Breakfast airs weekdays at 6 a.m. on BBC One.